Hello everyone, Impiator here, and welcome back to my Let's Play for Factorio. This is part 6. So in the last episode, we ended up finishing up Blue Science, though I did forget to drop out some outputs to get them onto the belts. So we'll go ahead and get that done, make sure we got our research going. And what we're going to be working on in this episode is dealing with our growing problem of missing inputs. So we are fast running out of resources, and we're going to be dealing with that sooner rather than later, unfortunately. Once we get our supply issues dealt with, we are going to be moving into what I talked about at the end of the last episode. So advanced oil processing. This is a prerequisite, and this will allow us to produce other types of oil-based resources. The main one that we need, though, is heavy oil, and that will be used to craft lubricant in a chemical plant. And that lubricant is a core component of the electric engine units. In addition, we also need the research for batteries, so we'll be able to make batteries, and those two items combined will allow us to make a flying robot frame. And then combining those together, we're going to get our construction robots as well as our logistics robots. So construction robots are going to be able to take a blueprint that we lay on the ground, and they will either grab from you if you have a roboport in your inventory, basically a portable roboport, or they will grab from chests that you specifically set up as source chests. And so if you want to use logistic robots, what these will do is they will take from those chests and put them into your inventory, as well as take things that are in your inventory and stash them away in whatever boxes you pick. We can basically pick where we want certain things to go. If we want certain boxes, for example, to only be used for certain things, we can control that too. So the construction robots, though, can also dismantle all of the trees and stuff around us. They can place flooring, for example, if we want to replace all of the flooring with concrete. That kind of stuff can be done. So that's going to be our overarching goal in this episode, is to move on. Yeah, move on into robotics. So what do we want to do here first? So I think what we'll go ahead and do is start building some more train stops. We're going to need 2 more of those. We're going to need trains, so we need steel. I don't usually automate these because these are not something that we end up building a whole lot of in this game. Looks like we need more engines. Still need more engines. Alright, that'll give us another. And then we'll do some more cargo wagons. Creating more plates. And then I'll go ahead and build 2 more of the locomotives. We're going to need a lot of steel chests. So let's go get some more steel. We may also need to fight off some biters. I do see that we have a new base starting down here. So I think what we'll probably do is we're going to get iron ore from here. Probably pull our copper from there. There's also iron ore over here and here. So this is actually kind of nice because a lot of times I'm left feeling like there's not enough copper in our immediate vicinity or iron, one of the two. I feel like there is going to be plenty available to us for the short term. And maybe even for the long term. We'll see. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's go and see if we can dump some stuff out of our inventory, because we're going to need a whole bunch of drills. Massive number of drills. Massive. Let's see. Really don't need these burner mining drills anymore. Let's go. Dump this over here. Also don't need that. We'll go and give the wood over here. So we have now researched the ability to begin splitting off our petroleum gas. And what we're going to do here is switch this over to advanced. This will split the gas into 3 different types. We are, however, going to need water. And there we go. And then we are also going to need to do something about the outputs on this, and that is because if we aren't actually consuming the resources that these produce, they will stall. So we are going to need heavy oil. We are also going to need some more storage tanks. Let me move this out of the way. And we'll go ahead and use this. So this is going to be lubricant. So that's going to be the heavy oil, and then for the light oil, we're going to collect this. And that is because eventually we're going to use this to make some other types of fuel for our flamethrowers. Yeah, let's go make a couple more of those. Well, like 5 more, I guess. Four it is. We also just got batteries. We can go ahead and get this started. You might remember that we had created this belt right here. This belt actually joins the belt that contains steel. The intention was to build that. We'll go ahead and kickstart that. These machines are going to need iron plates. This one needs sulfur. And then the other ones also need copper plates. So I built this right here in order for us to feed it like that. And then we are going to do input. And that will let us create batteries. So we're going to bring this probably around there. Let's go ahead and build some stuff down here. These are going to be the engines. First time we're getting to see these, but these actually pull from a fluid source. So these are going to be engine units. We're going to have a belt coming through here. And then we're going to have output. Actually, those need to be those. And then we're going to have this coming down here. Is that enough room? No. It's not. Let me build what we need over here first. So we're going to... So I don't want that on this belt, so we're going to go ahead and... I think do that. We're going to run this down. And then we also ended this prematurely earlier. We're finally going to go ahead and split that off, or spin that off. And that's going to give us additional input for more of these engines. And then we'll go ahead and use that. We're going to filter for steel plates. Make sure. Are those going to be on the right side? Yeah, those are going to be right side. Okay, so then we're going to have our steel and our batteries coming down here. We're going to have this coming down here. And then we're going to have our... So that's going to give us a supply of these green circuits. We're not going to be able to produce enough green circuits, though, to supply this, because we're going to be bottlenecking probably right here. Let's limit that to 2 stacks. Let's limit that to 2 stacks. Make sure we're not constantly feeding these machines that we don't need. And hopefully that'll keep some of our supply coming down here. Track circuits. Do I have any of those in my inventory? I don't. Maybe kickstart these with some of these. Okay. We have research done. We're going to go ahead and get into modular armor. We also want to get into power armor, which is an upgraded version. We're going to want blue circuits. And we're going to want power armor. And then I think we're going to go ahead and do worker robot, speed, and cargo size. Then we'll do productivity. Faster lab research speed. I think we'll go with those. So we're going to want to, at some point, start making probably some blue circuits right here. Actually, that one needs to be this one. We will switch this to blue circuits once we have them. So we don't need a whole lot of blue circuits, but we need enough that I can build the modular or power armor, sorry. Alright, so we're starting to get items coming down here. What we need next... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we're going to go ahead and supply these. That last one's not going to be the same thing. These are going to be flying robot frames, and then we're going to have output down here. Input at the end. And these are going to be robots, electrical circuits, and flying robot frames. I had that backwards. Okay, so that can be my requirements for creating construction robots. And then we're going to, at some point, want to create some robots. So we need red circuits. We need steel, and we need some of these. We'll do like 5 of these and maybe 25 of these passives. So we need more green circuits. Okay, so let's talk about how this is going to work. So we will place right here a location for our bots to be dropped in. these roboports can hold a whole lot of robots. And so we're going to let those start to accumulate, and we have another one of these right here that creates a network whenever they're close enough. And the bots will be able to travel along that network to get items, to basically create the various things that we put on the ground for them to build blueprints. That one's going to need power. Probably put another one right there. Do we have enough resources for it? No. Let's go get some more steel plates. And some more gear wheels. Oh, I didn't need that many gear wheels. Ah. That'll work. So that creates us a little bit of a network. And the green area is where the robots can go to take stuff. So what we can do now is we're going to take the storage chest. And this is where, if our robots deconstruct anything, where are they going to put the stuff that they deconstruct? So I'm going to take one of these and we're going to put it over here. This is going to be a filter for stone furnaces. So once they start taking down my stone furnaces in order to upgrade them to steel furnaces, and then to get them to pull stuff from the steel furnaces, we use the red one. So we're going to place red ones throughout our mall. They are not getting connectivity with our stuff. I think what we'll do is we will rearrange this a little bit. One right there. Or right there. Okay. That'll activate these, and then we'll want another one over here. And then it would not be a bad idea if we can automate the creation of these things. So these require steel plates, iron gear wheels, and red circuits. Let's see, steel plates, iron gear wheels, red circuits. I think what we'll do is we'll pull the gear wheels off of here. red circuits off of here. And we need steel. Yeah, I think we'll do it that way. Again, if this wasn't spaghetti, this wouldn't be Factorio. There is our steel. So the reason why I want to automate this is because I'm going to create a kind of setup where we can just keep building more and more of these to expand out our area of influence. And having basically an unlimited supply of these is going to be important for doing that. So now we have a constant source of that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to go to an area of our base. It has nothing in it. And we are going to find the limits of our creations. So I want them outside of the sphere of influence. So we're going to build right there. You know what? We'll go ahead and put one right there. That way we can at least see where does it stop. Okay, so we got one right there. Okay. So that's going to create our boundaries. Build one right there. Build one right there. Make sure we can line this up. And then we're going to line this up. Try to get us right in the center. What do we think? Is that the center? It's really hard to tell. You know what? There is a way that we can tell. We will put this in the center. We'll drag away and see when they both join at the same time. Okay, that would be the perfect center. Let's do the same thing over here just to make sure we got the perfect center. That is the perfect center. So the question is, does that line up with the one up here? No, it doesn't. So glad I did that. It's close. All right, that is our blueprint. And this will enable us to basically start building additional ones of these while connecting to power. Let's see. We do not need any of these items out right now, so let's go ahead and pick all of these up. We can turn off the grid. So they are wanting repair packs. Repair packs require both green circuits and gear wheels. We could probably build that actually up here. Let's dump that into a chest. Let's make that a red chest. And we'll give it power. Okay, so now our robot should be able to pull from there. They can pull from here. Here is our chance to start getting blue circuits. And we can also do this with that. Let's put a filter on here, though, for ammo in the future. We're going to leave those two alone, make sure they can provide... Ooh, this is a good one. We'll have one there, one there. So again, we can take electrical poles out of here, and we can repeatedly dump in our wood in here. In fact, let's put a filter on that so we only get wood. And then for everything else, we'll dump in there. Okay, so we have our base more or less automated. We don't have enough robots yet to really kick things off, but we could do some minor cleanup. Let's get rid of some of these items that we are hoarding right now. Batteries, we don't need batteries. Don't need any more steel plates. Don't need any more red circuits. Don't need any more engine units. Okay, so we're going to set this up for trees and rocks only. You can also set up a whitelist or blacklist. And then we're going to select some stuff. So our robots will start picking up the items and putting them into their preferred chests based on the filters that we applied. And again, the robots can go only in the green area for now. What we will also do is we're going to set up some upgrades. So the upgrade planner allows us to have the bots trade out items. And so what we're going to do with that is I think we're going to replace that with a yellow chest. And then we're going to make this a filter for inserters, normal inserters. And then we're going to have the upgrade guys come out and replace all of the yellow inserters with blue inserters. We're also going to have them replace all of the stone furnaces with steel furnaces. And we'll go ahead and drag this across our entire base. Eventually there will be a lot more upgrades we can do, but these are some of what we can do for now. We have automation! Okay. So the next thing that we really need to work on now is figuring out how are we going to get resources here. I'm thinking we're going to go ahead and start expanding this way over to the iron ore. I would love it if we could do some automation work here, though. How many of these do we have? Not many. None. Oh yeah, we need sulfuric acid. Duh. I totally forgot about that. It's like, why are we not producing? Okay. That will get us some. However, again, this is going to be quite slow just because we are not able to produce as much as we should be able to. We are running low on resources. Oh, we never upgraded that. I was wondering what was going on there. Actually, that needs to be for those chests. Okay. There we go. There they go. Thank you, my pretty machines. Alright, so it'd be awesome if we can get a personal roboport. So that is going to require solar panels. Get a personal roboport. We're also going to need personal batteries. And what this will allow us to do is walk around and actually build stuff without being in the vicinity, as long as we have the ingredients for whatever it is that we're building in our inventory. So we'll go ahead and also prioritize modules, portable solar panels. Oh, we already got that going. Exoskeleton equipment would be awesome. That will make us move much faster. Got so many research possibilities. Just not enough time to do them all. You know what? We need to put some limits on this chest, because otherwise it's going to eat up all of our resources. We are not producing any copper. Why are we not producing any copper? Because we aren't producing enough copper. Alright, so let's go ahead and start dealing with our biggest concern now, which is not having enough resources. It's going to be a while before these research items are able to complete because we have so few resources right now coming into our base. But that will be a temporary problem. That really is not that much resources, though. Alright, so we have iron out that way, out that way, out that way. I think probably makes the most sense to go knock out this base. Actually, we're getting really close to that base. Tell you what, let's go knock out the south base first. And then we're going to head over to the east. How many is that? 5? 3? Yeah, we'll go out to that area, I think. Let's see, how do I want to have them do this? So this will ensure that we are able to expand our base pretty easily. They will basically gradually grow our influence. That is not connected to a power source, though. Let's fix that. Okay. So I think we'll go ahead and also deconstruct this area worth of trees. I think we're going to bring in our rails. Actually, we're going to need some more rails, too. We're going to bring in our rails right here. Okay, that should give us plenty of length. And we're actually going to let them build it. We'll watch. Okay, so let's see here. Drag that. Drag that. Drag that. Oops. If the personal roboport were done, we would be able to kick this off, just pull the resources from our bank, basically our own personal inventory. But alas, we don't. So I'm going to probably dump what I have in my inventory into boxes to let them all basically just tear through the inventory I currently have in my inventory. Obviously, this building is going to get that enemy's attention. But I'm okay with that. Missing 5 entities. They're working on it. They're working on it. Again, my main bottleneck right now is just not having enough resources to keep this machine going. Soon, we will. Actually, we have some... Only 4. Yeah, it's gonna be a while before we got that roboport. Okay. So we're gonna go dump all of these in. We'll stop it there. We're gonna go dump all those in. Oh shit, this is actually supposed to be limited to just inserters. My apologies. Alright, so that's filtered, logistics filter, and then these are going to be fine. How many of these do we have? Oh, we're completely full, okay. We'll go ahead and devote the steam engines to this too. Wood. We have wood. Stone bricks. We do not need stone bricks. We are full. Okie dokie. So they are working on that. They are slowly starting to spread the pollution cloud over there, though, so I think it's time for us to go say hello. So let's go pick up some ammo. And there is my car. So as you can see, they're slowly building out my path out to this area. It'll be a little while before they have all the resources required for building everything that's here, but we will eventually have dominion over this place. Okay, so grenades. Alright, I think we're gonna be good. Go check the bottom area, make sure we don't have any other enemies near us. Last thing we want is a surprise. So there is that base. We kind of left it alone previously. I think we're going to go and kill it now. Let me grab ourselves a save. This is going to be YouTube number 6. Oh no, rocks. Can't have rocks. Okay, we are real close. Again, once we have the portable robo port, it'll be able to repair our stuff on the road, which will be super nice. The level up of our damage output is really helping us. And thankfully there are plenty more where that comes from. Alright. I think we are good with the immediate vicinity of enemies. Let's see. Is that going to be a problem? No. Should not be. Alright, so at this point we are going to be continuing to work towards automation, waiting for them to hopefully get enough resources to come out here and build the rest of my outpost. But otherwise, I think that's going to do it for this episode, everybody. I want to thank everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.